Okay. Very good morning, guys. Yeah. So last class, we have been learned about like how to work with stored procedures, right? Yeah, we just been looked into the process of working with the stored procedures. And the next thing what we are going to learn today is, yeah, how to work with multiple tables. How to work with multiple tables. How do you work with the multiple tables in our application? So to do that, first we'll do one thing here. Let's connect to SQL Server and create two new tables. One is a department table and one is a employee table. I just want to create two tables, one representing the department and one representing the employee. Parent-child tables. Department is a parent table and employee is a child table. MVC TB. Yeah. So my first table is a department table. So these are the columns what I'm using. Department ID, integer. I'm using a primary key constraint on it, and also I'm using an identity. No identity now? Yes or no? An auto generation pattern. So starting from 10, increment by 10. So first record will be 10, second record 20, third record 30, fourth record 40. That's how it will insert the values. Second column, dname. Third column, location. My second table is employee table. Employee ID, primary key constraint. Here also I'm using an identity. Starting from 1001, increment by 1. So it will be 1001, 1002, 1003. That's how the pattern continues. Next, employee name, worker, job, worker, salary, money. Department ID, and you come to department ID, you see the department ID is a foreign key constraint now. I'm referring to department table, department ID. So this is a parent table and this is a child table. And last, we have the status column, same, you know the status column already, the same status column. Bit, not null, and default value will be 1. Okay, so let's create these tables. So for department table here, I'm inserting 4 records also. Marketing, sales, accounting, finance. What will be the IDs? 10, 20, 30, and 40. Come on, let's create the table. First table, department. Done. Now, I will insert few records into the table. 4 records I'm inserting into the table. Select star from department. You can see. Identity generated the IDs. Okay. The next table is employee table. Select star from employee. Into this table here, I don't want to insert any records. Like our student table, see, we started with a blank table and we inserted the records from the from our MVC application. Now also same I want. I want to insert data into this table manually. Are you clear? Manually in the sense, I want to do it through our application. Here no. Where I inserted data, department table. Why? Department is like a master data, guys. Master data is not provided by end user. See, tomorrow if there is a school, I want students. What classes are available should be decided by the school only, not by the student or a parent. Student or parent will not decide. Na, in your college you're studying some engineering now. In your college you're just going to have this group. What groups are available? What groups are available? The college has to decide. So these are all called as master data. We call them as master data. So this data will be initially available in the tables. Tomorrow, in real time also, you're developing an application for a shopping cart. By default, the site launches today. When the site launches today, by default, when the site launches, product data should be available there. So product data is the master data now. Product data is the master data. Okay, fine. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you, what I'm just trying to tell is, by default, we'll be having some master data here. So master data should be available by default automatically. Clear? Understood, everyone? Okay, fine. Now, let's try to understand about this. What did they say is, like, how do we work with these tables from our application? Actually, I will be inserting data into employee table only, but not into department table. But what is the need of the department table? Every employee belongs to some department. Yes or not? The department ID should be coming from the department table. The department ID should be coming from the department table. That is important. Okay. Now, let's do one thing. Let us create a project. We'll name it as MVC with LINQ3. All same process here. What I shown you day before yesterday. Not yesterday. Yesterday we worked with procedures. Day before yesterday we worked with tables. Create a new project. MVC with LINQ3. ASP7. MVC. Yeah. Now, what you'll do in the models folder, add the OR designer. Add. New item. Data. Link to SQL classes. What is the name, guys? MVC DB. All same like what we have done in the previous class. What next? Open the Server Explorer. Configure your database. Add connection. Yes, say 1, 2, 3. False. So my password. Choose your database. Connection details are correct. Okay. What next? Go to tables. Where are the tables here? So first drag the department table here. You can see a visual representation of the table. Now drag the employee table also. And you will see the relation between the tables also. See. There's a relation between the tables now. the parent-child relationship, and you can see that relationship clearly at that place. So this is how it represents the things to you. Am I clear, all of you? Yes or not? Okay. Now, I want to start creating some views. I want to start creating some views now. Guys, my views are only for managing the employee data, not to manage the department data. I repeat, my views are only for managing the employee data, not for managing the department data. Okay. That's why I'm adding an employee controller here, guys. Controller, add controller. I use it the name as EMP or employee. Let me see. Employee controller. Employee controller. Employee controller. Now I want to start writing the methods. Now the question, okay, import the model namespace using MVC with LINQ dot models. Now the question that comes in our mind is DAL class required or not required? Required or not required? Required. Why? We don't have procedures. And what did they say you? If you don't have procedures, you need a DAL class. If you have procedures, you can skip the DAL class. Right now we don't have procedures. So DAL class is required. So let us also go to models, add a class, name it as employee DAL. Employee DAL. Click add. DAL class created. DAL class defined. And now here, what you're required to do, you're required to write a constructor first, public employee DAL. MVC DB data context DC. DC is equals to new MVC DB data context. And before that, string constr is equals to configuration manager dot connection strings of what is the name, guys? MVC DB connection string. Just spelling mistakes, we don't know, that's why I just copied from there. Dot connection string, and then here constr. No difference here, all same. Now you need to write some methods now. Like what? One method for getting the all the employees data, one method for getting the employee data, single. One method for inserting an employee, one method for updating an employee, one method for deleting an employee. I need to write some methods now. We'll write the methods. Now we are creating a view, we are creating a controller here. We are creating a controller here. The first action method, public view result, display employees. Right? Return view. So this display employee should show what? Employee data, correct? Listen carefully. What it does to show? But just not only employee data, guys. What are the columns in the employee table? ID, name, job, salary. Ignore the status. We don't show status to user. Already explained you. Ignore it completely. What I want to show is ID, name, job, salary, department ID, department name, location also. I want to show everything to the user. Array, not just department ID. What I want to show department name and location also. If you want to achieve this in SQL, what do? You ready to join? Help me. Select E dot EID. Come on fast. E dot E name, E dot job, E dot salary, And then you want to get the data from the department table. Either you can say E dot or D dot, no problem. D dot department ID or E dot department ID is also valid. D dot department name, D dot location. From employee E, join here. Default is inner join only. If you write join also, inner join only. Join department D on E dot department ID is equals to D dot department ID. So it's going to fetch the data from both the two tables. Employee, why you need? Getting the output now. As is only optional here. Employee E, department D. Enough. No need as. As is only optional. And default join is inner join. If you don't specify, there is inner join only. Join and you can write the query. Okay. Fine. This is going to fetch the data. But one more thing also we should remember, where E dot, that is also important. Array, we don't have data now. That's why we're not getting it. So this is the query. Understood? So if I write the query, I'm getting. So now in my view also, I want to display all these 7 columns here. Not only the columns of employee table. I want to show the columns of both the two tables now. Got it? But the problem is, for a view, we can bind a model. If I bind employee model has only 6 columns with status. If you eliminate the status, 5 columns. Remaining 2 columns should be coming from where? Department table. Are you clear? But earlier someone asked this question and I said, you, what is that? Sir, can I bind multiple models to a view? Not possible. Not possible here. I cannot bind multiple models to a view. Multiple models to a view binding cannot be done now. Then how, sir, if you bind employee table, it will show only the columns of employee. If you bind only department, it will show you only the items of department. But you're expecting both now. Carefully listen. Understood? What is the actual problem? A view cannot be bound with multiple models. So if I bind employee model, I will get the columns of only employee table now. If I bind department and model, I can get only columns of department. But I want both. Okay? To resolve this particular problem here, define a new model class that contains the attributes of both the two tables, what you're expecting now. What you need to do? Define a new model class. A new model class should be defined here. Are you clear? And why? Because a view can be bound with one model only. So that is why I'm defining a new model class. This new model class will contain the columns from employee also, department also. Both will be there. Got it? Okay. So now come back to your application. Go to the models folder. Add a class. Give a name like, I'll give the name as EMP-DEPT. EMP-DEPT. This is the model class. And in this class here, what I want, I want the columns from both the two tables. I want the columns from both the two tables. Means these 7 guys. Got it? I want these particular 7 from both the two tables. And see there, I'm just going to get it from both the two tables. ID, primary key. Name, nullable. Job, nullable. Salary, no not null constraint. So I used this one. Department ID. Department ID is just going to be not null. Department ID is mandatory now, primary key now. Name is nullable, location nullable. So you see now, you got both the 7 now, all the 7 now. Yes or not? Now tell me, if I bind this to my model, if I bind this to my view, do I have all the 7 attributes or not? If I bind employee, I have only employee columns. If I bind department, I have only department, I'll bind this. So what I'm trying to tell you now, Now, for model binding, don't use employer department. Use this now. See the three examples, three things I shown you. In the first example, I directly bound the student. Second example, I did not bind the student here. It defined a special class for us to work now with only the columns we are fetching. Are you clear? Today also same scenario here. But today, what designer did not define the class? I defined my class. Yesterday, what designer defined and given a class with 5 columns? Na? Today, you designed your own your own model with 7 columns in it. Hope you guys are clear. This is what I should use in my model binding. Means for every view I create, the model binding is done with EMP, DEPT, not employee. It should be EMP, DEPT, not employee or not department. Hope I'm clear. Now come to the DAL class. What is the first method you're required to write in the in this now? What is it? Get employees. The first method what I should write is get employees now. Okay, come on, let me write it. What is the first method? Get employees. Public get employees should return what? List of. Customized idea again you are forgetting. EMP, no more employee. If you had employee, only employee data will come now. So it should be combination of both the two things now. EMP, DEPT. Get employees. Bool status and make it like nullable. And same story, guys. What is that? If at all I'm just going to pass null, I will get the data irrespective of the status. If I pass true, active records, false in active records. Remember that now? Okay. What should I do first? I should create a empty list first. I should create an empty list of departments. The first thing what I require to do is I require to create an empty list now. That will be the written value finally. That will be the written value. Finally, what do you say? Return EMPs. But that is empty. You need to fill the data. You need to fill the data. How to do that? Somewhat like the way you're done in your ADO.NET. Somewhat like the way you're done in your ADO.NET. But what in ADO.NET? ADO.NET we got in a data set. But here we don't get a data set na I queryable. Day before yesterday shown you na I queryable. We need to get from that and you need to fill it. And now to get the data you record to write a join here, not directly query. Remember, Monday when we worked with the LINQ to SQL, I written a query and directly called a to list converter of. Yes or not? But it won't happen like that now. Like this, it won't happen today. Why? These classes, this employee, see, I can call to list to convert into list of employee. I can call to list to convert into list of department, but I cannot call to list to convert into EMP DEPT. Reason EMP DEPT is the defined class here. Did you catch my point? So what should I do? I'll tell you. We need to first write a query to fetch the data from both the two tables. How to write a query? How to write a query? The query, what should I write? A join query now. What should I write? A join query. Okay, let me tell you how to write a join in LINQ. Basically, I thought you LINQ in C# classes, but there also I did not show you joins. So let us talk about joins here. And remember, LINQ query starts with from, right? From employee. How do you write? E in TC dot. For you it is employees. Correct now? Next, join. Department D. How do you write department D? Same only. D in DC dot departments. Focus on the second line here. Ignore the first line. Focus the second line. From employee. Someone said na employee as e-user. That is optional, man. Here also department as D. These are optional. And now employee as E. How do you write? Just a reverse. How do you declare a variable in C#? Int I. How do you declare a variable in SQL here? I int, na, reverse. So here also same now. This is how you write in SQL. C# will be reverse now. So how do you write? E, not as operator, in operator. Same way, join is here, join only. Department D, D in DC dot departments. Afterwards, on E dot did equals T dot did. And it's not equal. Why? A single equal is assignment for us in C#, not equality. It should be double equal. Now, without that, directly it has given you something called as equals. It has given you something called as equals. Okay. What next? Afterwards comes your where clause. Afterwards comes your where clause. Okay, now we'll write the where clause. Where E dot status is equals to true or false, something true or false. Next, select. What you'll say? New of. And then what columns you wanted to fetch now? What columns I want to fetch? E dot employee ID, E dot employee name, E dot job, E dot salary, T dot department ID, T dot department name, T dot location, T dot location are the columns I just wanted to fetch. This is how you should write a join query. That's going to fetch the data from both the two tables now. Are you clear? Understood? Now see, if I say where something x is equals to, what is x? I queryable of these all columns. Last class I got I queryable of a student, remember? We don't know what is I queryable, so we call to list. But here careful listen. I queryable of which class here? Not student, not employee. Why 7 columns are there? Not a department. What it should be? EMP DEPT. But it won't show I queryable of EMP DEPT. Why sir? EMP DEPT is your defined class here. Again, you should remember that point. That is your own class. And NT, your OR designer doesn't recognize that class at all. Then what it shows you? I queryable of 7 column names it will show you. I'll show you in the, when we're writing the code, I'll show you. See, that when we done this in the student's case, it showed you I queryable of student. If you write only on employee, it will show you I queryable of employee. If you write a query only on department, it will show you I queryable of department. But here you are writing a join and getting the columns of 2 separate tables. Are you getting my point or not? So that's why what it will show you? I queryable of the 7 column names it will show you. It won't show you any model there. It will show you 7 individual column names to you. Just like anonymous type. It is a anonymous type. Did you catch my point or not? Okay now? Now, what you require to do, all the data is present in the X now. Now this X, otherwise let us call it as records. Now what you require to do, these records should be picked one by one record now and added into the list. Added into the list. I said you that's why this code will be somewhat like our ADO.NET coding we done last week, remember? Something like that. Okay. Now tell me, when do I need a status? If Yoda passes the status, otherwise status is not there now. If Yoda doesn't pass, this is the query. Means if status is null, this is the query. If status is not null, this is the query. Am I clear? Come on here, let us do it. What? Watch. If status is equals to null, if status is equals to null, where records is equals to, and then start writing a query. I'm writing a where records and I'm just start writing the query for you in this particular context. Did you understand my point or not? I need to pick one by one record from the appropriate, I need to join and get the data. Just now I explained you how to write a join. From E in showing you na DC dot employees. Next, join D in DC dot departments. DC dot departments. Afterwards, on E dot DID equals, IntelliSense will help you guys, equals T dot DID. And now you're writing the condition where stat equal to null. Stat is equal to null means no need where clause for me now. What next? What next? You write a list of the columns. Select new of. Tell me what columns you wanted to fetch now. E dot EID, E dot ename, E dot job, E dot salary, D dot DID, D dot dname, D dot location. Okay, this is the query what you are implementing. Oh, we did not import system.link, I think. System.link. That's your query is giving an error. Yeah, put your mouse on this. I queryable of A. What is A? A is an anonymous type showing in the bottom C. Array, sir, this exactly matches with our EMPD, it matches here. You know, I know, but what designer don't know that, nah. Are you clearer or not? If I call to list, sir, if you call to list, then also it will show you list of A. Did you catch my point? If I call to list, what it will show you? List of A. If you want to call to list, you can call here, but what it will show is only a list of A there. Did you catch my point? Tell me. Now what I should do? I need to loop between these records. One by one record should be converted into EMP-DEPT and added to, like our ADO.NET coding we have done in the last week. Remember? That is the process. But see, where did you declare this? Okay, let us write the else part also. Then we'll talk. Array, in else part also we'll write the same query here. But now we need a where clause. Paste it. Now add a where clause here. Where here. Where E dot status is equals to status. Where E dot status is equals to status. Okay. So this one. Now, where did you declare the where? Inside if condition. When you declare inside an if condition, how can you access this out of the if condition now? Scopes here. You declare something in a block cannot be accessed. So what should I do? I need to declare this outside the if condition now so that I can access below. If I declared before the if condition, I can access below the if condition now. But do you remember in C# we learned what are that? Where. When you want to declare it now, you want to declare where. See, where records. I'm trying to declare it here. I'll get error. Why I'll get error? You'll get error because you'll get an error because implicitly typed variable initialization is mandatory. Yes or not? At the time of declaration only you should assign a value. But without, but I want to declare, sir, you can't do. Implicitly variable supports only the concept of assignment at the time of declaration. No assignment doesn't accept. So what should I do? Replace it with, understand now. These are all what we learned in the C# classes. But there we really don't know how to use it. Here you're understanding everything now. See now, dynamic. Supports what? Declaration without initialization. Now, in the runtime, based on the data, it will initialize the things now. Are you getting me or not? Okay, now see. This is an employee list. List is empty. Now I need to add the records into the list now. It is only showing you, see. Are you clear? For each EMP, DEPT, EMP in records. Okay. More perfectly, no need like this. Simply where record in, understand my simple English. Each record in records. Multiple records are there now. How many? I don't know. Based on the number of records in the table now. What I'm doing? Picking one by one record. What you do? You should create an instance of this class now. Which class? EMP DEPT. Okay. EMP is equals to new EMP DEPT. What will you do? You should initialize all the attributes now. What are the attributes? EID is equals to. Pick the EID from the record now. What is the difference between, sir, this is the same way you done in ADO.NET also, no, sir? Yes, we done in ADO.NET. But what is the difference, you know? In ADO.NET, the data is not type safe. We done conversions for everything. Do you remember? Here I don't require. Why? LINQ is type safe. LINQ is type safe. Employee ID is integer only, name is string only, job is string only. Like that only you'll get the data. You will not get it as object to do. Check with the ADO.NET coding. On that day also we written the same code, but single table only, not multiple tables. But at that point of time, what you done? We have done a type conversion. But here I don't require to do the type conversion because it is purely type safe. Continue. What next? Job, salary. This will create an instance by picking the data from there, right? Now, what you should do, the next line, emps dot add emp. That is instance name, that's all. Whatever name you want to give it. Are you clear? Now tell me, finally return emps. It's going to return the emp data for you. Understood or not? Once again, I'm repeating you. What did I do first? And I'm going to know it in the runtime. So if status is null, I'm writing a join query to fetch the data from both the two tables and loading them into records. See, what is records? When I put my mouse, it is not telling you now. But when I declare where it's shown you, first why I declared where, you know, to show you that. But what is records? It is identified in the runtime here. What is records here? It is when you declare where, what it's shown you? I queryable of A. Here also in the runtime it will show you what is records I queryable of A. What is A? A is an anonymous type. In the bottom it's shown you. Okay, just to understand, say like this. Say like this. If you do it like this, then it is going to tell you the appropriately what exactly is this. Are you clear? Here are coming. Okay, leave it. Don't bother about that. Okay, now what is A? Anonymous type C. Type safe. See, guys, this only said your type safe. You're going to get an exact type now. Correct or not? Okay. Without that, what we done is, but here it won't tell you that. It won't tell you now. When will it tell you? Runtime. It will tell you in the runtime. When it will tell you? It will tell you in the runtime. Why in the runtime? Because dynamic type resolution is done in the runtime. Now you understood correctly dynamic difference now. So when to use dynamic? When we don't know the type exactly, then the dynamic comes into action. Okay? Well, so based on your status value, it will fetch the data from both the two tables based on the status or irrespective of the status. But what is it returning you? It is not returning you EMP DEPT. It is returning you an anonymous type. So now I'm converting the anonymous type into my EMP DEPT. My EMP DEPT. How did I do that? First, I created a empty list. Second, for each loop, picking one by one record, return. Understood? Same way, guys, I want to write another method here. What is it? Get employee. Get employee, not employees. Get employee. Can you help me? Public return type. Perfect. EMPDPT, not list. EMPDPT. Get employee. And this requires two parameters. One is ID. Two is, and remember here, status can be null. ID is mandatory, but status can be null. Same story again. Where, not record. No, not records. It is like a record. We are going to get a single record in this case now. Are you getting me? Okay. Now what you'll do, not where, I'm sorry. Dynamic. Okay. If status equals to null, you require to write a query now. Record is equal to, guys, same query only here. You need to write the same query only. But what is the difference? I'll tell you. Copy. Let us not declare dynamic first here. Let us go with var. Let's go with the var is equals to. I am writing the query. Okay, I'm just writing the query basically. So var record is equals to, I'm writing a query. And here you need to add a where clause where e dot eid is equals to eid. Or if status is not null, eid is equals to eid, and both should be written. I record write status equal to status. Now tell me, this will fetch you one record or multiple records? One record. But when you put here, it'll tell you I queryable of A only. Array, why sir? Already explained you guys. Even if it's single record, also will come like a table only. And to resolve it, I set you an option. Put the whole query in the braces and call dot single to, sorry, dot single. Dot single. Now see the difference. Array, just showing A, that's all now. Not showing you I queryable of A. What is A? Is the collection of these columns. Not clear? Clearer or not? Array, imagine A as EMPDEPT. Earlier, I queryable of EMPDEPT. Now, EMPDEPT. But name is A, not EMPDEPT. Name is A. Earlier, I queryable of a list. Now, A, one record. Now it is one record. Correct? And let me... actually, declarations cannot be done in the var here. That is the error what it is showing you. Ignore it. Shall I use this now? Dynamic record. Record is equals to else part. Same code only, na? But what you should do, another condition should be added. What? And E dot is equals to status. E dot status equals to status. So it's going to fetch based on the status. First one, irrespective of the status. Second one, which status. But both will fetch you one record only. Okay, now? Now tell me, what is it? Do you need to loop it and pick one by one record? No need. Why? It's only one record, na? So directly what you'll do? EMPDEPT EMP is equals to new EMPDEPT. And straight away, you can see now what? EID is equals to record dot EID. No need looping here. You have one record only. Multiple records are there, loop. Single record only, na? Continue. Next, ename is equals to record dot ename. Sorry. Job is equals to record dot job. Finally, return EMP. What is EMP? EMP is EMPDEPT type. Got it or not? Are you guys clear? Understood everyone? So this is what it is going to return to you. This is the first one. This is the second one. But this is going to fetch the data from two tables, not one table. Okay. Now for the time being, let us come to here. Okay. We'll write this logic now. Oh, we forgot to create the DAL class instance, guys. What is the name? Employee DAL. DAL is equals to new employee DAL. Now, var employees is equals to DAL dot get employees of true. And all of you can observe it. What is this? Not A, sir. Not A. Why? I converted A to EMPDEPT there. If I don't convert, what I'll get is list of A. What I'll get is list of A, where A is an anonymous type, it'll tell you. But here I converted already. Converted it which type? List of EMPDEPT. That's it. Directly got the list of EMPDEPT. Now, can I pass it to my view now? Let's give a simple name here. Pass it. EMPS will directly come there. Now, add a view. Help me. @model. I enumerable of MVC with link 3 dot louder. See guys, it is showing you all the 3 classes. If I bind this one, you will get only columns of employee. If I bind this one, I'll get columns of department. If I bind this one, I'll get both the 2 things now. Understood? What next? This all code is same only. That's a 2 table. Why? What is your business now? 2 tables or 3 tables are. For you, it is EMPDBD. That's all. Rest of the code is same only. What do you require to do? How I created the views earlier. Now also I should create the view in the same style. Next. Table. Class equals to the class called table class. I'm using that. What next? First row contains all the headers. How many columns? 8 columns now. How many columns? 8 columns. Why, sir? Actions column 7 plus actions 8. Watch. There's nothing different, man. 7 plus the 8th column, that is actions. Next, for each loop. Observe. What is model? EMPDPD. Here employee means. Don't forget that. EMPDPD. Now, you're just going to fetch it. If you want to simplify, simply say EMPR. If you feel lengthy name, just simply shortcutting it. All. Next, details. What you should pass? ID. There is nothing new for you to explain, guys. It is the same old, that's all. What model you're binding, put that in the mind. What is your table is none of your business. Yesterday also, my table is student, but my model is not student. Student has got select result. For a view, table is unnecessary. For a view, what is important? Model. Understood me or not? Model is only important for me in this context now. Next, you need to add one more row. That is for action link. Okay, now. Right now, we don't have any records in the table now. Just to test it, shall we insert some few records in the employee table? 3-4 records we'll try to insert. We'll delete it again here. Insert into employee, e-name, job, salary, DID. Values. Some name, guys. Job, salary, and department ID 10. Enough now? Why? ID is auto generation, status as default value. Okay. Now something. Sur. Some different name. Suresh. Department number is 20. Is a manager for another department. Okay. Something. Is a manager for another department. I inserted 4 records here. Just sample I inserted. That's all. Now come here. This query should fetch you the data now. This only I want to show on the UI now. Did you understand me? This is what it has to show me on the UI. The extra column is actions there. 7 plus 8th column actions. Let's run and see. Array, before I'm inserting, I'll delete of a. Go to Solution Explorer. Sorry, go to Shade folder, Layout, delete the link, add a new link, employee management, method name, display employees, controller name, employee. You want to see the logic? Not here. Dal class. Dal class logic will debug. Hitting. Now see, initially, when I put my mouse records null, which type it is not telling you basically. And now status equals to null. Sorry, status is not null. We passed true there, I think. What we passed here? Oh, true. Let's say it is not null. So let's say it come to else part. And guys, it is going to fetch the data. Now it will tell you, see. Check here. Anonymous type. Showing you, see now. Are you clear? And see the name also. F underscore anonymous type of 1. You remember or not? It created the anonymous type for you now. Yeah. Now, I'm getting an empty list. List is empty. Now, one by one record is coming from the records and converting into EMP, DEPT, adding to EMP. Now, your list have one record. Loop run second time, second record added. Third time, third record added. Fourth time, fourth record added. Now checking any more data, no more data, return EMPS. Done. Check out. Any confusions to anyone? Are you people clear? Yes or not? Before I'm adding a new record, I will delete off the old data. Eh? I'll do that. Don't worry. I'll do that deleting of the old data. Right now, we are able to fetch the data from both the two tables now. And the two tables data is loaded successfully. Clear? What next? Details. Details. Single record. For that also, in our controller, we'll write a method public view result display employee int id. And what did we do is we return a separate method for this del dot get employee. What is mandatory parameter? Employee ID. Second one is optional, but I'm passing true. Second one optional, so null can be passed. Okay. So this will fetch me only a single record. Now right click, add view, MVC 5 view, display employee, choose empty. Here it should show your EMP DEPT guys. Showing you employee department also, but I don't want them. What I want is EMP DEPT. Click add. I want to show the output in a table format here, just a table format here. We don't have images and all. So left two columns here, left hand side all the column names and right hand side all the column values. Vertical table, not horizontal, vertical. Okay now? Yeah, observe it. ID, name, job, salary, department ID. Oh, I did not use entry here. Huh? Department ID, department name, location. Afterwards, a link to navigate back. Last class also we get in a table only, guys. But what we done is, one side we completely displayed the image, on the other side column names and values. Today we don't have images, so what we are displaying is the column names and values. Now, all of you, I'm telling you, you make the habit of debugging everything. Okay? Guess what? I'm showing it like this. Got it? Back to employee data. Yeah. Is that clear? What next? Add. You want to add a record. You want to add a record. Now, this is the real challenge for us, adding a new record. Why? Why this new challenge? The real challenge for adding a new record is, I'll tell you. Public view result, add employee. Return view. Now, when you go to add employee, what will you do? You'll choose your model now. Empty. What's your model? EMPT, add. Array, this is what we have done in the previous examples also. Correct, huh? But I'll tell you, what values you're going to see when you're inserting, you don't insert values into all the records now. Sorry, all the columns now. You will insert values only into the employee. We don't insert into department. Well, displaying, I'll show both, but while inserting, I'll insert only into employee. What you'll insert? ID not required, name is required, job is required, salary is required. This is only the challenge now. Department ID. Which department ID, sir? You need a drop down now here. You need a drop down that loads the data from department table. That loads the data from department table. Sir, if you want to load the department table, the department table should be bound here then. But we cannot bind it now. Understand my point here? Yes or not? But what about EMPDPT? EMPDPT is fetching the data from both the two tables, not from department. What you want now? Only department's information I want. Tomorrow, if 1,000 records are there in the table, 1,000 department ID, it will show you department ID, department name and location 1,000 times. But I don't want them here. You cannot bind all the 1,000 now. What do you want? Specifically, you want the data of only department. Then only I can bind it to my drop down. Then only I can bind it to my drop down. Are you people following what I'm telling you? Yes or not? So what is the challenge now? How do I get the department's data here, sir? Can't I add static data? You cannot static data, but if you add static data, tomorrow if the table adds with a new department, you won't get it here now. So it should not be static, it should be dynamic. And those values should come here through everything should come through this only now. But how can you get this, get through this, sir? What do you mean? Yeah, what I mean is, how can we get through this? Why? Because, sir, this is getting ID and name now. It is getting ID and name here. But remember, when table doesn't have records in it, what will happen? Tell me. When employee table doesn't have records, what will come now? Zero records, na? If your employee table doesn't have records, what you'll get now? Zero. Then tell me what you'll show in department now. You're thinking when data is present coming now, then we can bind ID and name you're thinking. But my scenario, what I'm telling is, let me go to employee table now. And I am going to delete the data from the table. Delete the data. Truncate table employee. Delete a truncate. What should I do? Why? What is it? I did not understand. What will delete to? Delete will delete structure. Brainless fellows. Truncate will reset the identity. That's all. Delete and truncate are same. Delete also will delete the data. Truncate also will delete the data. But delete can be with conditions. Truncate cannot use conditions. And other one is delete will not reset the identity. Truncate will reset the identity. If I use delete, then extra record will be 1005 now. Means I'll delete off the records here. Now I'm inserting a new record. What do you expect? Table empty. First record you're expecting 1001 now, but 1005 will come. Understood? That's why truncate. You're telling something that is wrong. Only the difference between delete and truncate is you're telling delete, truncate will maintain the structure. Delete also will do the same thing. No one will disturb the structure. Delete can be used with a condition, but truncate cannot be used with a condition. Another main thing is delete will not reset the identity, but truncate will reset the identity. That is the difference between delete and truncate. Understood? Why I use the truncate here? Because I want to reset the identity. If I don't have identity, I would have used delete only. Remember here, last week, student table also, I did not use the truncate there. I used the delete only there. Why? I don't have identities there. Today I have identity, that's why I used the truncate. Okay now? No data in the table. Now tell me, if you think like this ID and the name are going to have the values in them, where are the records now? Now your drop down is empty. Yes or not? Imagine this scenario. What is it? Earlier we inserted 4 records, but all 4 into 4 departments. But if all 4 are only for one department, then drop down will get only 1 record now. Understood? And third one, I have 10,000 records in my table. All the 10,000 are loaded. Will you load all the 10,000 departments? I want only 4, 10, 20, 30, 40 only. Understood? Yes or not? So that is why I'm telling you, how do I get the department data here, sir? How do I get the department data? If you want to get the department data, department model should be bound here. But I cannot bind. Why? One model binding is only allowed. One model binding is only allowed. Already one model is bound. Which model? EMP DPT. So who will bring the data to this view? Who will bring the data to this view? EMP DPT will bring the data to the view, sir. Who will bring the data? EMP DPT will bring the data. Correct now? So everything should be passed to the view through EMP DPT only. Put that in the mind. What do you bind to a drop-down list or a list box? I'm not asking which table data. Forget about database programming. You learned about drop-down list controls in web forms. You learned about drop-down list controls in MVC also earlier. I'm asking you, what do you bind to a drop-down here? Sound is not coming out. Louder. Select list item. Select list item. What do you need to bind? Select list item. In our web forms, it is list item, and here it is select list item with 5 attributes. What are the 5? Text, value, disabled, selected, group. In web forms, you don't have group. Here, group is extra. There were blank faces here. You have to learn. Do you practice or not? I thought all these things to you when I'm working with forms now. Working with controls. Radio buttons I showed you. List boxes I showed you. One day in the list box we bound that class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 items we bound it. So here also, what I should bind? Select list item. One or multiple? Means list of select list item. Collection of select list item. What I need? List of select list item, or otherwise collection of, or otherwise IEnumerable of. Anyway you speak. Are you getting me? What attributes do you need? 5 attributes are there now. What attributes do you need? Sir, 3 are optional. Why 3 are optional? Have default values na? Only 2 are mandatory. What are the 2? Text value. Text and value. What do you want? You want both or only one? You want to text and value or only text? We want both. Why? To show I need the name, which is a text. But when user select, what I need to pick the value. What I should insert in the table here? ID. But what I need to show to user? Name. For user, if I show 10, 20, 30, 40, how will the user know here what is 10? What should I show to user? Names. What should I send to database? Louder. Okay, put that in the mind, guys. Now see, what am I doing? Who will bring the data to the view? Only EMPDEPT. Who can bring the data to view? Only EMPDEPT. Correct now? Okay. Let me take you to EMPDEPT and I'm adding one extra property here. Watch it. What is it? What is the property name? Louder, yeah. How many times I should tell you? LKG students will whisper in the mouth. What is the written type? Sorry, what is the type? List of. That only I said here. What should be the type? One item is select list item. Multiple items means list of. Sir, error coming. Might be some namespace issue. That's it. I think system.web.mvc is required. Yes. System.web.mvc is a namespace. What is required? Under that only we have this. So what do you have? List of. Okay. But how the data is filled into this? How the data is filled into this? We need to fill the data into this now. Correct? Okay. To fill the data into this, in the DAL class, I want to add a new method. In the DAL class, I'm just writing one new method. What is the method? Public list of. What is that we have taken here? Select list item. Let us name it as get departments. Let us name it as get departments. What are you going to do? What I'm going to do, I need to create a list now, add the values into the list and return it. Okay, let us do it. List of select list item. Some name of your choice is equals to new list of select list item. Empty. What you should do? I need to pick one by one record from the departments and create an instance of select list item and add it to the list. Hey, you've done the same thing only now. In get employees, you picked one by one record, created a value of which type and add it to list. Now do the same thing. Now your type is select list item, not EMBDBD. It should be a select list item and you need to add for it. Did you understand my point or not? So what I should do? For each where department in DC dot departments. Can you understand that? DC dot departments. You're picking the records from the departments now. What you require to do? You just require to create the instance now. Which class? Li is equals to new select list item. And if you remember, it's asking you now. Are you clear? What it asking you? But these three are optional only. What is mandatory? Text. What is the text? Text is equals to DEPT dot DID. Sorry. Name, comma, value is equals to DEPT dot DID dot toString. Why? Value is a string type here. Object type. spelling mistake. Value is a string type, but did is integer na. So that's why I called it toString on this. If I don't call toString, I'll get error. Watch. String types. These are string types. Now tell me what the difference between get employees and get departments. Get employees returns you EMP type, list of EMP Get department returns you list of select list item. EMP has 7 attributes in it and all are user defined. But select list item is predefined with 5 attributes. Both are similar type of classes only, but that has 5 attributes. This has 7 attributes. These 7 are all mine own defined, but this is predefined. What next? DEPTS dot add. Add what? Otherwise, let us name like for understanding. Oh, already the name DEPT is there now. Add what? LI. Add the LI. Clear? Yes or not? So what is going to happen? The loop runs and all the items are added. All the items are added. But this is going to fetch the data from where? Purely departments only. Means only 4 records only will come. If tomorrow employees 1000 records also, I won't get them. What I'll get is only 4. Finally, return. Finally, return. Okay. So what are you going to do now? Just watch. Now come to controller. Basically, this is the 4th example we are working now. First example we worked on ADO.NET. Second and third examples we work with LINQ. In all these example, the add method of get, we are not passing any model to it. Am I correct? For edit only we are passing, not for add. Simply every time we are doing add, that's all. Got it or not? What we are doing? We are only directly calling the view. We are not passing any data. But now I need to pass. What should I pass? EMP DEPT. But when I said pass EMP DEPT means don't fetch any data from the database. Don't fetch the employee department data from the database. See, this EMP DEPT has how many attributes? Wrong. 8, nah, just now you added. What is the 8th one? The 8th one, what you added is departments, correct? EMP dot departments is equals to dal dot get departments. Array, what is the return type of get departments? Then this is also same only, na? Am I sending directly now? So in this case, what will go to the view? For the view, all the data will not go here. Only department data. Remaining all will be null only. What will go is only department's data. Yes, I want to send only department data. But if this edit here, I require to pass all 8 attribute values now. Now I should pass only 1 attribute value. Just debug it. You'll understand it much better. We'll add a view. View added now. View added. Let us debug so that we will understand the things better. Okay. See now empty now. Add. Oh, I should put the breakpoint here. Sorry, guys. Okay. So first EMP is creating. How many attributes are there? 8 attributes are there and all are having the default values only. See. Clear? All are having the default values. And do I need to pass all this information there? No need. What should I pass? Only department's information should be passed there. But with edit, all you should pass. Why? Edit means text boxes should load the data also, na? All the information should be passed. But here only department's data should be passed. Are you following me? Now, in the next line, this method is called now, and this method will fetch the data. Now see the difference? Put your mouse on EMP again. Watch. Observe here, you can see everything. 5 attributes, clear? You assign the value to the 2 and remaining have the default values now. The default values disabled is false. The default value of group is null. The default value of selected is false. What I filled? Text value. Is it clear? Now tell me, is it bringing all the information to the view or not? Now bind this departments to your drop down. So drop down will show you the department's information. Did you understand me or not? Are you clear? But in edit, remember, in edit, I will pass all data. So what is the difference in edit, you know? Okay, let me write that method. We will write the post action here. Just a minute. Let us write the edit method also. Public view result, edit employee. Needs a parameter now. What is the parameter? EID, employee ID. Now see, what you are going to do here, you are not going to say EMP DEPT EMP is equals to new EMP DEPT. No, why? And if you say like this, it will create you empty EMP DEPT, but you want empty with values. Del dot get employee of EID comma true. This is going to fetch the data from there now. This is going to fetch the data from there. Correct or not? This is going to fetch the data. After fetching the data, 7 attributes are loaded. What are the 7? Except the EMPD, except the departments, remaining 7 are loaded now. ID, name, job, salary, department ID, department name, location. 8th attribute is empty. What should I do? EMP dot is equals to del dot get departments. Return view. You want to see that? Okay, we don't have any data in the table right now. We'll insert one sample record here. Something. We'll truncate again, no issues. Okay. How to test it? We don't have any view for this. Okay, no problem. Why? View is not the action method. Sorry, view engine error will come, but method will execute now. View engine error will come. How to test it? What's the method name, guys? Edit employees. Question mark. That's how we can test now. But without manually you're using links, but starting this like this only, we tested. Now hit the enter key. Edit employee, guys. Sorry, edit employee. I typed employees, edit employee. Okay, observe. Initially, this is null. After execution of that method, the data is loaded. Observe. What is empty? Departments is empty. And that departments is filled by the next. Now you see. All 8 have the values. Did you notice it? For add, only this is enough. For edit, all are required. Understood? And you see, under this you have 4. Same story. I hope I'm clear. Why your doubt will be why you added this in EMP DEPT, sir? Because EMP DEPT is only going to the view now. So everything should be passed by that only. Are you getting my point or not? Who is going to the view? EMP DEPT is going to the view. You need to pass everything to that only. Understood my point? Okay, that is the reason why I added this additional property to EMP DEPT. And what should be the type of it? Why, sir? Because for a drop down or a list box, what you can bind is only select list items. A list of select list items. Understood? Come on. Let us create a view. Add employee. View is there. We'll write the logic for this. You know how to create text boxes now? What is new today is creating a drop down. But remaining all, you know. Add new employee. At the rate using HTML dot begin form. Do I need any information? Means not required. Not required. Why? Today I don't have all this nonsense. What? Array, I don't have encryption types and all. No image na. If encryption type is not there, leave it like this now. But you can leave it. No problem. But tomorrow someone looks into the code. Again, without confusion, it's a good habit of writing the action method name. What is the action method name? Add employee and also the controller name. You don't write also, no problem. It will work. Okay, but just to give it idea for other people, write it. Sir, what about get and post? You want to tell that, write that also. If you want to tell that I'm using a post, then write form method dot post. We have overload methods. Okay, I can use whatever method I want. Now encryption types and all are not needed. You know, creating text boxes now. Should I create a text box for employee ID? No. Why? Auto generation. So I need to create only for name. Check. Name, job, salary. Next. The next thing I want is a drop down list, correct? At the rate HTML dot drop down list for. Okay. Now just understand carefully. You need to pass some information for it. What is it? First, to which property this control should be bound? Means, listen, means when user selected a department, the value should be sent to which property? DID. Array, not departments here. Understand what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you from where it should load the data. Data loaded. You selected a department. Once you selected a department and click on the save button, this value should go to which property? DID. This property should go to DID. Correct or not? Which property? DID. So specify that first. E lambda expression E dot DID. Second, what is the second one? See? From where to load the data now? Pass me a IEnumerable. From where this data should be loaded. From where this department should be loaded. Model dot departments. Model dot departments. Tell me, do you want to show any default value? What is that? Yes, yeah. Otherwise, first department is selected. Wrong, na. What should be the default value? Select the department, comma. See that you can pass on the information. Object HTML attributes. Object HTML attributes. No, here we have one more overload. Like object HTML attributes. String option label. String option label. You can pass a string here. Select department. Select department. Once again, understand the difference between the first one and the second one. See, if you enter a salary, in the text box, this salary should go to the salary property of your EMP-DEPT, correct? Array, same way, if you select a department here, this value should go to the DID property of your EMP-DEPT now. Understood? The first one is the model bound property, means where this value should be passed on. But second one is from where to load the data. From where to load the data. This is multiple here. First one is single only. One value only will be selected, not four. But Loading should be 4. 4 values should be loaded. Okay. That is the difference between the first property and the second property. This is to send. This is to load. This will load. This will send. Afterwards, select department. What next? Text buttons only. Next. Just a second. I'm not filling up all the things. Just like quickly, we'll just do HTTP post public redirect to route result add employee emp dept emp. No need written redirect to action display employees. I will write the logic and we'll write the logic, just a quick idea. That's all. Okay. Well, guys, run your display employees. Record there now. Record is not required. Why? Add. Can I truncate the table? Truncate area. Truncate table employee. Now records. Blank. By the time it loaded, data is there. See, I've refreshed and data went off. Now see, add. Got it? Now, if at all, I'm just going to fill the value, Raju, manager, some 50,000. And I'm selecting a department here, marketing. When I click on the save, marketing should not go there. 10 should go there. Correct? Check. Department ID, e-name, job, location. Sir, rest of values are not coming. What is not coming? Department name, why do you want? Are you inserting record in the employee table here? You don't want department name now. You don't want location now. What do you require? DID. Sir, what is missing? 2 are missing. What is that? Status. Status as the default value. Ignore it. Second, ID. ID. ID doesn't have a IT is auto generation now. So that is also not required. And status, not like default value. When you talk about status default value is false. But when you're inserting, we should make it true. I'll do that. But ID is not required now. ID is not required. Did you get what the required information for you now? And this is what you're required to pass to the table, and the table will preserve it. Understood? Okay, everything, guys. I understand. One shot, you cannot understand the things. I'm telling you that, advising you always. Debug. Everything debug. Yesterday, someone put a message, sir, I'm not getting a output on the view now. If output is not coming the view, then null reference means the action method is not passing the data. Then debug it first. What is the mistake in your code? You're not doing that. Where error is coming, you're looking there only. But where the data is coming from, you need to debug from the starting point so that you'll know where is the problem. Not in the ending point. In the ending point, if you do, what is the use? From starting of that method means from action method, you need to start the debugging. Goes to DAL class. DAL class will load the data. And what is happening? Data loaded correctly or not? If any error comes, all these things you require to check there. Debugging should be important. Okay? Let's stop here, guys. We'll complete it tomorrow.